Apa khabar semua? Welcome back to the Khabar Baik show, where we celebrate Malaysian good news together. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to admit that I'm still processing the fact that we are already at the final weekend of May. You know what they say? Time flies when you're stuck in a pandemic. Especially when you have a bunch of incompetent leaders running the country. But tonight, it is time for a break from all the chaos, all the confusion, and really shift our focus and celebrate the good stuff that happened this week. Tuan-tuan and puan-puan, without further ado, let's dive right into this week's Khabar Baik. Malaysian-American Guru Disvaran Ramu offers COVID-19 breathing device free to the world. The device named EcoFlow is a low-cost, continuous, positive airway pressure device intended for COVID-19 patients to cope with breathing difficulty at home, in transit to hospital, and while awaiting treatment in the triage room. According to a recent email interview, Guru says he would like to hand out the units to the hospitals and medical staff at no cost to them. And on top of that, make the design and manufacturing details of this device free and available to the entire world so that manufacturers in developing countries can produce it for their own citizens. In this war against COVID, I'm glad we have people like Guru and his team. I mean, this device is going to save lives, lah. I probably need one because his selfless character really just took my breath away. Speaking of selflessness, recently a group of Pahang farmers decided to give away 20 tons of watermelon for free. That's right, a 50-year-old watermelon farmer Azri Yaakob told Harian Metro that there are 8 farmers in a village at Jerantot, Pahang managing farms as big as 0.4 to 0.8 hectares. Although a few farmers are still operating their small businesses, the rise in COVID-19 cases has caused them to meet several difficulties, including limiting their movement. According to Azri, most farmers have accepted their fate and hope that there are people who like to come and take the fruit so that they won't go to waste. Whoever wants to eat watermelon, just come to my farm, he said. Mr. Azri, thanks for reminding me that even in challenging or tough times, we can all still choose to show kindness to the people around. Online learning has been a huge hit recently due to the pandemic. And recently, a group of young Malaysians has started their own company called Evolve Malaysia. And what they want to do is approach education from a different perspective. Curious, isn't it? And here to share and celebrate with us, please help me welcome Evolve Malaysia. Hey guys, apa khabar? Oh my goodness, thank you so much for being on the show tonight. And you know, I found you guys on Instagram and I just thought that, hey, what you guys are doing is pretty different. It's very unique. So anyway, but before we actually get into that, maybe you want to introduce yourselves.
Hi everyone, Khabar Baik. My name is Jasmine Korbola, and we are from Team Evolve Malaysia.
My name is Jinmei, Shang Jinmei. It's very nice to meet you, Chris, and I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
Hi everyone, my name is Pelvin. Chris's family and my family, I have actually been friends since before we were born. So I'm really glad that we can finally do this now. Yeah.
Evolve Malaysia. Tonight I want to speak to you guys about that. What inspired this whole thing?
So I'll start off. Again, Chris, thank you so much for having us on the show. We are truly honored to be able to get a platform for us to just come out and just share what we're all about. So Evolve Malaysia was this organization that we actually came up collectively as a group of friends. So the three of us, me and my partners, we've actually dabbled in the education field for a while now. Like for me, myself, I studied TESOL, which is teaching English to be specific. And as soon as I graduated, I dove straight into the education line. I started working in a school. I specifically found my niche with speech and drama. And I've been training kids for a couple of years now. And the same thing goes for my two partners. Pelvin, for an example, and Jinmei, they're both very well versed in the field of psychology. They studied it. They have a keen, enthusiastic passion for psychology and teaching kids, on the other hand. So Pelvin has ventured into tutoring kids for the past few years now. With the content that comprises of what Evolve is all about teaching topics that are out of the norm. And, we've seen positive results with the stuff that we have now prepared. For Jinmei, on the other hand, my partner, apart from studying psychology and being very passionate about it, she is actually a public speaker on a national level here in Malaysia from the previous years. Yes, and she's also coached a lot of kids, the minds of our younger generation. So what I'm trying to say here, Chris, is that Evolve Malaysia was there. It was created by us because we understood that our education system is good, but there are a lot of gaps in between it that we feel we can fit in with this evolving times, the changing times, the world that we live in.
Um, to elaborate a little bit about this gap that Jasmine has been talking about, right? So she has shared that my experience is mainly focused in the field of public speaking. And I think that has been something that I've been really interested in and passionate about since I was in high school. So I participated in a lot of events, competitions. I loved teaching kids, and I have taught quite a number of kids over the past few years. And where Evolve was inspired from my background itself, was the fact that we are all aware that soft skill programs and extra training for children's soft skills are something that's very sought after by parents. For example, public speaking, at least
Yeah.
within the parents that I know about, right? And the problem that I realized from this is that if you go about looking for a public speaking teacher now, you realize that most of the teachers, they either give you a script or they give you a topic and then they ask you to rehearse and rehearse and rehearse and try to perfect it. But I believe that public speaking isn't something that you perfect. It's something that you learn and gain from. It's more than just, saying things with the right pronunciation, with the right intonation, with the perfect memorization of the script, right?
True.
And one way we thought that we could achieve that is by imparting knowledge to kids. And not just the soft skill of public speaking itself, but imparting knowledge. And that is why we focus so much on the content that we develop from Evolve Malaysia. And that is why we believe by imparting both skills and knowledge, Evolve Malaysia is the way to go.
So we want to help all of these children in Malaysia to reach their full potential, to unleash all of that, so that we can help to try to bring about the next generation of Malaysia, the ones that we so much sought after, like since we were young, we always heard about so much of this, but now we're giving the chance for children to do that.
You see the gap, and that's where you come in. You want to bridge that gap, right? To help kids reach their full potential. And I do agree with what every one of you just shared, because there are things that we cannot learn in our current education system. It is definitely something that it is out of the textbook syllabus lah. It's safe to say that. And so earlier, like Jasmine was mentioning about the content like public speaking, soft skills as well. And when I was in school, I never had like a public speaking class. We had English lah, but there was no proper platform for students to actually have this, unless you join like debate clubs and societies. But tell us more about what kind of content that you guys have that it's different lah, from what you guys always say that you're out of the textbook syllabus. So what kind of content are we talking about here?
Yeah, so currently right now we are offering two different programs. One of it is the performance program, which is focused on public speaking. And the other, we're calling it the Despin Initiative. That would be more focused towards debating. So I'm just going to talk a bit from my personal experience a bit as to why we created this content. So before I was able to speak the way I do now, up until 16 years old, I used to be super shy. Like when my mother's guests or friends would come over to the house, I would run out to my mom's room. I'll hide behind the curtain for hours until they left. It used to be that bad lah. But then once I was in school at the age of 16, I joined a drama club. And it was only there that I could find a voice. What I realized later on was that I had the same set of knowledge that everyone had, but I could never have the confidence to speak up, to voice out what I thought would be better. So that is what our content is. It's not only to teach public speaking and debating, but it's to provide a voice for the children, their confidence to be able to say what they think. And more importantly, all of our content is focused towards thinking critically. What that means is that, just like Jinmei mentioned just now, we don't just follow a script. What we do is that we give you all this knowledge so that you may think for yourself. That's what thinking critically means.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is what our content is and what we are trying to offer to the children of Malaysia.
We are not like saying the syllabus that we have out there, the curriculums in school is bad. It's actually very good. It's comprehensive. Not only the national curriculum, but the international ones as well that is present here in Malaysia. It's very good. But it's comprehensive from the academic side of things, you know?
Okay.
With times now, like I mentioned, it's changing, it's evolving, right? Children, they know a lot, right? And they don't know how to process this information that they get. So the content that we have prepared covers a wide range of extras like self-awareness, teaching kids self-identity, topics like gender equality. It is present, it is ongoing right now, but the syllabus that we have curated makes it simplified and easy for them to understand and easy for them to gauge as well. Basically, it just makes them an all-rounded person.
Just to elaborate a little bit about the topics that we have. So let me just name a few. We have culture, war, shades of gray, gender equality, identity, human psychology, and that's just to name a few of what we have in store for all of you. And I think one important thing that we've all tried to stress when you ask this question is why it's important. And I think that I can try to give you an example. So if we talk about one of the courses that we have, one of the classes that we have about gender equality, can you imagine if you have a little girl who goes to school and she's 8 years old and she wants to join the basketball team, for example, but then everyone in the team are boys and perhaps they aren't comfortable with letting her join them because maybe she might not be accustomed to the rough situation of playing basketball or is not competent enough. There's so many reasons. But my point is that if you start that at a very young age, when you plant that little seed of doubt in a little girl or a little boy, no matter the situation, if boy wants to learn ballet, it's the same situation, right? I think that when we learn psychology, we know that childhood education, our childhood influences us a lot. And that will grow into something that will impact our future and how we think. And so that is why we believe that by starting a conversation within kids, by making them aware when they're young about what they say, what they think, and how what they do can impact themselves and the people around them, I think that's where we're starting to go towards the right direction in teaching the youth of our of Malaysia.
Melentur buluh, biarlah dari rebungnya. So I mean, yeah, it's good to start young, and I love that this will be able to give kids a platform to actually express and also be exposed to things that, you know, one of the content that you were talking about, identity. I'm like, wow, you know, this is something that many of us, even when we're grown up, when we're 25, who are you? They cannot answer. You know what I mean? So these are conversations that are very important, and I cannot imagine if it starts young, how much they will develop and grow, and then they are going to be our future, right? You guys just started, right, this year, and my question to you is, you have the content, you have the mission, you have the like the whole idea is there, right? You want to bridge the gap, you want to bring up a better generation of kids. But what do you hope to see from this?
Okay, that's a very tough question. But so currently, right now with Evolve Malaysia, we like to identify ourselves as a school of thought lah. So school of thought is something that goes against the norm, because you know, just like how we talked about it just now, what we are trying to teach, what we want for these children, is very different against the current norms of the society lah. Because most schools throughout Malaysia, most of the curriculum, it's very different from what they're trying to offer. So right now, what we can do is to offer a debating course and a public speaking course that focuses on critical thinking.
Okay.
But in the long run, now this is further down the road, we hope for Evolve Malaysia to actually be a school. So a full-on school with our own content, our own curriculum. So right now we only offer 2 programs, but in the future, we hope to have new courses such as Coding 101 for children, young children, or Theatre 101, so that you can build up your self-confidence even more, or Technology 101. I think that is so super important right now. And not only that, if we can perhaps even develop our own school, our hope it's if one day our curriculum could be inserted into the national syllabus, so that every child in Malaysia will be able to benefit from what we are trying to teach.
Wow.
Yeah, so that is kind of the future that we all dreamed of as children, and we hope to be able to provide that opportunity using this platform.
That is absolutely amazing, guys. And personally, from what I've been hearing, this is something that is really not impossible, and I really see the need for this lah. And you know, my hopes for Evolve is that the kids that go to you, you know, when they are there on that, you know, going through your courses and all that, you know, there's just going to be a surge of change in the next generation. It's going to enable more exposure to important issues, to soft skills which people are lacking, which kids are lacking nowadays, right? And to give them this platform, it's absolutely amazing. I'm so excited, and the fact that all 3 of you have this dream and have this vision and this heart to reach out to the kids, right? It just inspires me lah. I hope it inspires everyone watching tonight as well. It is not just about us. What are we doing for the next generation? If you know anyone is watching, if their parents, you know, parents are thinking, oh, how do I get my kids, you know, to this program, to sign up? You know, how do we find you?
You can go to our website. We have social media pages on Facebook and Instagram, and you can WhatsApp us as well. There are links to everything in all of the platforms that I've mentioned before. Definitely check out our website. There's a lot of information there, and we would be more than happy to spend the time to talk to you about why Evolve and all of our courses are important for your children. And we also have trial classes available, so for free. So if you're interested, you can always join. It can always be a good alternative for your children to learn during this period of time where you're always stuck at home.
So guys, thank you so much for your time, and I'm so blessed to have young people like you on the show tonight, and you know, with your vision, your dream, and I want to stand behind that lah. You know, everyone watching, let's I'm looking for a brighter future. Looking forward to a brighter future for Malaysia. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I will leave the link to their website in the description below. Be sure to check them out. And that is all the time we have this week. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the videos you've been watching on the Khabar Baik show, do give a subscribe and like, as it will really help the show go a long way. Plus, if you want to be part of the show, or if you have some Khabar Baik to share, I give you 3 options. Okay, the first one, DM me on Instagram. You can leave it in the comments down below, or you can tweet me at ChrisMJ. And this is the Khabar Baik show with Chris MJ, reminding you that if you look for good news, you'll find it. Good night, everyone. See you next week. Melentuh buluh ya dari tebung. There are 8 farmers in the village of Jerantut. There are 8 farmers in.
Okay, everyone, Khabar Baik show is finished.
It's a wrap.
Do your job lah.